What's this show called again? Do we have a name? This is episode 003, Club Columbo, or better name. We've got Carson Dentinger on here. We've got Alex Mikkel Mishkushka. I'm Chris Schiefer. This is Club Columbo. So Carson, I heard you grew up in Oregon. Is that correct?
That is very true.
Can you tell us a little bit about how Ohio and Oregon are not the same place?
Oregon, like, I definitely took it for granted because I thought just like every place was like this, but there's like a ton of like mountain ranges and like interesting trees and like nature to look at and tons of waterfalls. The redwood forest is insane. Like, if you can go to the redwood forest at any time in your life, I'd say that's like one of the most like worthwhile places you could be. Ohio is just like a flat, like, just place.
What's the OG Oregonian like today?
If anyone's been in Oregon for 150 years, they're probably a farming crowd. In general, just like do not fuck with like the rest of the outside world. Like, where my grandpa is from is like there's nothing for like 40 minutes any direction. The coolest thing in like their entire town is like a Dairy Queen. Like, I'm not even kidding. That's like the cultural like summit of like everything like they've accomplished as a community is this fucking Dairy Queen that's like going out of business, and there's like a feed store and like kind of a high school. Like 4 bars, yeah, and that's it.
So why don't you tell us a little about when you first started playing the drums?
So I like went to a like Christian high school, like a small high school, and we had to take these Bible classes. And the only way you could get out of them is if you were in, like, the chapel band. So I, like, joined the chapel band so I could avoid, like, being in an actual class. And I, like, played the box, or, like, a cajon. It was just, like, slapping, like, a box, essentially. And I did that in chapel band, and I was, like, super obnoxious. And they, like, had, like, this, like, electric drum set just, like, wasting away in a basement. And I just, like, started learning, like, from YouTube. Did that for, like, a year and a half, and then I came to college. Yeah, I just got a Craigslist set when I moved into my like off-campus like house, and then like just like improved it from there. So like the band I'm in right now, we like there's 4 members, and we all take a lot of influence from like 60s bands. That's kind of hard to like emulate like as a sound, so it comes across as more like indie rock, I would say. Honestly, like whenever we play shows around here, like people are like interested in hearing whatever your sound is, as long as you like feel like you're going for something.
So you guys recently started getting paid for gigs, is that correct?
Well, it's just like we played a venue that was like a little nicer than what we'd been used to playing. Instead of just being like, yes, you can play here if you want, they'd be like, you get like, you know, this percentage of like the people that come in the door and like stuff like that. Like, it shakes out to like not like anything like substantial, but like you get paid. Yeah, it's like a huge difference from like playing house shows just to like have the experience to like have people like compensate you for like what you're doing. So yeah, it's very cool actually. Yeah. So I know, like, my band personally, like, we just like want to like play things because we think it's fun, and like we think like what we have is like worthwhile to share.
So you guys, do you do all original music?
So we play like 1 or 2 covers. Definitely Lake Street Dive is like our favorite. Yeah, covers are fun because, you know, you're playing your original stuff. Like, obviously no one's checked out like your SoundCloud or anything before coming to like this local show, but like as soon as you bust out like something they know, like people get excited. And like we only ever play like house parties or like bars and stuff, so like there's always like a good amount of alcohol involved from both like the audience and the performers, which I just feel like is a mutual understanding.
So you have a SoundCloud. Do you have an album, or are you working on an album?
We have like the material for an album. We were just planning on doing that like after finals because it really is kind of like difficult to manage. Our singer keyboardist is a music major, and she's like a double major in piano and like vocals, and she has like an internship with the like Cleveland Orchestra this like summer. And then our guitarist was in a band previously, and like their stuff is on Spotify and everything. Like I definitely feel like I'm just like kind of tagging along as like they're like this thing, but like as long as you're holding it down, you can do whatever you want as long as like the main rhythmic idea is consistent. So
you're an engineer, right? No? Yeah, never mind. That blew my follow-up question. What's that SpongeBob song that we listened to? It's like, what's that guy?
There's Tiptoe Through the Tulips.
Tiptoe Through Tulips might be something you want to think about, but you're not an engineer.
yeah.
So, just for some point of reference, today is March 10th, Friday, March 10th, Columbus, Ohio.
I would love a beer.
What is your favorite video game of all time?
Honestly, my favorite video game of all time, and only because it came at such a perfect time in my life, has got to be, I can't choose, probably Rock Band 2, but like the whole Rock Band Guitar Hero series, like, and I was like, holy shit, like, what are these bands? Like, they're all so cool. So that game, like, honestly, just like had such a like cultural like impact on my life that I would say that's easily like the most important.
Yeah, no, Rocket Band. Yeah, for sure, Rock Band. I was like a saxophone player in high school.
I'm from Manhattan, so like, yeah, I know it's good on Broadway. Both my parents work in Manhattan, so I'm there all the time. I grew up there.
Why did you come to OSU then?
I came to OSU because I'm on the Ohio State varsity fencing team. Ohio State men's fencing, #1 in the country right now, and Midwest champions for the 4th year in a row. So, good shit. Yeah.
Carson, do you do any sports?
Negatory.
Do you play Smash Bros?
I do play Smash Brothers. It is a phenomenal game because everyone loves their own like favorite character and like loves to play this game, and it's like fun no matter how you play it. We're gonna get into it. Manny works for the fucking government. Let's go.
All right, yeah. It's a little secret. I work for the government. But yeah, I work for the Democratic Party. I do a lot of writing, do a lot of reading. But I don't know. It's kind of cool. Yeah, I work for the government. Yeah, I work for the Democratic Party. So, on a serious note, for real. So, yeah. That's my job.
So you tell me, you guys talk a lot about Trump in class. I know I've talked to you before.
All you Trump heads from the South, all of you poor, you know, you guys like in the lower like socioeconomic classes who thought Trump cared about you. He doesn't. So I hope you have buyer's remorse right now. I hope you're figuring that out. He doesn't give a fuck about you. He will never come back to your town. He just wanted your vote. And now he's going to fuck you over. He does not care about you. He's going to make you pay more money for basic things that you need.
So, Manny, I understand you're in an art collective. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. I'm in an art collective, little art collective called the Cold Collection.
What is an art collective?
An art collective is kind of just like a group of like-minded people trying to like, you know, promote things that they do, like music, visual art, you know, videography, any kind of stuff like that.
Maybe why don't you tell us a little bit about how Ohio is not New York?
Yeah, all right. When I first got here, man, I've been wanting to talk about this for mad long to someone. It was a culture shock and a motherfucking half, I swear to God. And, like, the big thing I noticed is the football culture. Like, I've never seen any shit like that. Like, even in high school where, like, they have games and the town shuts down for a high school football game, I've never seen it ever in my life. The people were really nice to me. Everywhere I went, people said, hi, good morning, blah, blah, blah. Like, in New York, like, don't fucking look at me. Like, I'm like, if you come up to, like, too close to me, I'm like, Like, I'll expect that you're trying to, like, rob me or some shit. Like, don't say hi to me. Like, what are you doing? Like, the only thing I didn't like is that sports seem to trump arts culture. And I'm definitely a beneficiary of it as an OSU athlete. But the perks that we get are unbelievable.
So, why don't you tell me a little bit about some upcoming projects you got for the collective?
So my specific group in the collective is called the Couch Boys. I make the beats. My friend George, who I told you about earlier, raps. You can follow us at Couch Boys. But yeah, there's some big things coming. A lot of white girls definitely just want to like see what's good with a black dude, because there are certain legends a lot of white girls don't know but would like to know. Yeah, man, I don't know. It's just a jungle out there with the white girls. You never know what's good with them.
When I watch porn, they don't even really bother to mention that's interracial anymore.
That is true, bro. They're just throwing shit in there. Like,
All right, West Coast. I'm talking warm beaches, hot bitches. I'm talking you can't even touch like our nature. You can't touch our art. All of indie music comes from like the West Coast. Yeah.
yo, East Coast. The country started on the East Coast. We have hip hop started in New York. The government runs in DC, which is on the East Coast. We have Manhattan, the cultural center of not only the United States, but the world. But, you know, the East Coast gets shit done. The East Coast runs the country. Without the East Coast, there is no America, if you ask me.
Where exactly do you guys plan to take this project?
So, but I think the highest we can get it is that we're like a Wayne's World-esque figures. All right, March 10th, Friday, Columbus, Ohio. This has been Club Columbo, in search of a better name. Let's just, last thing, let's all run through and give some potential names for the show.
People you don't know, but you should, bitch.
Welcome to the world.
All right, I think that was the best batch of names yet. It sounds like I'm joking, but I'm not. All right, this has been Welcome to the World, people you don't know but should, bitch. Episode 003 with Carson, with Chris, with Alex, with Manny. Ooh, yeah. Next time I see you at the art pack, I'll say hey.